Voice is clear? Hello. My voice is clear? My voice is clear? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Evan. So morning we saw up to what is various types of attacks, passive attacks and active attacks. We saw, and now we are going to be see about the security services. So what are the security services? So the classification of security services as follows. So one, we know that goals of security, we have three types. One is about confidentiality, integrity, and authentication. We have three types. Availability, that is availability. So we can take the major one, that is the confidentiality, to ensure that the information in a computer system and transmitted informations are accessed by only for reading by the authorized persons. Confidentiality is the protection of transmitted data from passive attacks. Protection of transmitted data from passive attacks. What is a passive attacks? So morning we discussed, no? What is a passive attacks? Can anyone? So what are the two types of passive attacks? What is meant by passive attacks? Can anyone please respond? Is a revision. If you still you are simply like that, there is no use of just I am simply reading. That's it. There is nothing in there. Okay. So the passive attacks are only, for example, the Alice and Bobs are sending messages. The third party person can view the messages and he can know the patterns and what is the size of messages. These the things only he can do. What is the passive means in the sense he can see, he can read the message and he can see and what is the message size and who is the two parties are information they cannot do any type of knowledge. So that's why every major attack is going to be identified before it is a passive attack. Sir, for example, if I want to do some robbery, so what I have to do, I want to observe that I will need to make a sketch, you know? So that is the sketch, everything. So it may like that, it may like that, we need to go like this. There's every proper map we are going to make it. So that is, so how when it is data is transferring, how it is data is transferring at particular time, how much of data is transferring. So the sender is choosing what type of maybe this one protocol, which protocol he is using. So how to attack that protocol. So everything is, you know, they need to observe that. That is that. So ensure that the information in a computer system is transmitted information are accessed only for reading by the authorized parties. Confidentiality is the protection of transmitted data from the passive attacks. For example, when a TCP connection is set up between two systems. So that's why I told you, connection, what type of protocol? Connection between the two systems. This broad protection prevents the releases of any other user's data transmitted over the TCP connection. This broad protection prevents the release of any user data transmitted over the TCP connection. So then, what are these things? Connection confidentiality. So we have various types of things are there. So connection confidentiality, the protection of all user data on a connection. So how level we are going to be provide connection. So confidentiality means proof. We know that confidentiality is going to be provided. Who is the authorized person to access? For example, we are going to be open our hotspot. So who can access our hotspot? If I am going to be on my hotspot, that hotspot is shown to all other who are all receiving Wi-Fi, everyone receiving that signal, yes or no? So who can access that one? Can anyone? Who can access that Wi-Fi, that hotspot Wi-Fi? So those who know the password of that one, then they can access. That is connection confidentiality. Then connectionless confidentiality, the protection of all user data in a single data block. So we are going to be provided in a particular, for example, uh, we are collecting all of your maybe mobile IP addresses, and these IP addresses only can get this one. So whenever you are going to be on, the automatically it is going to be done. So we are making one single block. Then selective field connectivity. The confidentiality of the selected fields within the user data, the connection in a single data block. Again, so how we are going to be make it as selected particular person he can access, all particular person he can. For example, we can see that Wi-Fi we have two, even if this one LAN connection we have MAC ID and general ID, two types of. So in MAC address we can access all the data, all the, even you can download the large number of apps on. In general normal IP address we don't access all the websites and we can access only limited services like selective. Then traffic flow confidentiality. The protection of information might be delivered from observation of a traffic flows. Might be the observation from the traffic flows. So how we are going to be provide a traffic flow. So what is this the traffic flow? This is the traffic analysis where we are going to be passive attacks. We are going to be do the traffic analysis. So that is the confidentiality we are going to be provided in the traffic. Then another one is about authentication. So what is the meaning of authentication? The right person is going to be access the right way. The authentication service is concerned with assuring that a connection is authenticated. The assurance that the communicating entity is the one that it claims to be. So ensure that the origin of message or electronic document is correctly identified within a assurance that identity is not false. That identity is not at all false. So how we are going to be provide the authentication. So peer entity authentication. So peer-to-peer services. So one of the layer, OSI ISO layer where we are going to be see the peer-to-peer connection, host-to-host connection, application to application connections. Where we can heard about the peer-to-peer, one-to-one we can simplify. Use it an authentication, use in association with a local connection to provide the confidence in the identity of the entities connected. So how we are going to be provide an identity in a proper, believed identities we are going to be provided in these P2P, one-to-one. Then data origin authentication. So in a connectionless transfers, so that is we can call them Wi-Fi services like. So provide assurance that the source of received data is client. Source of received data is client. How we are going? So I was accessing these data from the particular server. So this is through that these particular credentials I was applied on that. Then only I got this one. So source can have the data client on to receiver. Then another one is about the integrity. Another one is about integrity. So ensure that the only authorized parties are able to identify the computer system, assist the transmitted information. So modification includes the writing, changing status, deleting, and creating and delaying or replying of transmitted messages. So how we are going to be? So what the problem is? If integrity is going to be lost, what are the things may happen? So ensure that only authorized party is able to modify that. So who can, for example, who can now we can see that I can operate all. So I can remove the persons in the meeting. So in the class I can remove the persons. I can change your names. So what are the credentials I have? So for example, I am my login is differently. You are going to be click the link and you are going to be logged. So you cannot change and you can not do anything operations. I can change your name and I can remove you, I can put in a lobby or whatever, all the operations, what are the things I can operate on. So that such that. So who is, why I can do means I have a username and a password to access the particular system. So that is. So another one is about non-redemption. Non-repetition. So it requires that neither the sender nor the receiver of a message be able to in a delay of transmission. When a message is sent, the receiver can prove that the alleged sender in a fact sent the message. Similarly, when the message is received, the sender can prove that he is allowed the receiver to fact the receiver. So here, receiver has to prove that I got the message, so I am the correct one, and the sender has to prove that I am the correct one who is sending the message. So in the non-repetition means, so everywhere the both the receiver and sender has to prove themselves itself. So I am the right authorized person is sending message or receiving message. So they have to prove themselves. Then another one is about access control. What is this access control? So requires that the access to the information resources may be controlled by the target system. So access control is the ability to limit and control the access to host system and application via communication means. To achieve this, each entity trying to gain access must first be identified or authenticated. So when we are going to be so the accessing of data or following of data. So how can we control at the target system? So the resources may be controlled by the target system. So access control means how we can control all those things. So simply just now I said that. So how, for example, this June meeting is one system we can talk about now present. So that is started at 1:45 and we are. So how can I operate this one? How can I make this target system? How can I control? How can I perform the operations? All those things. Ability to limit the control access to the host system and the application via communication means. To achieve this, the entities are trying to gain the access must be first identified and then. So how can I do these operations on this? So I must identify it. I must enter the username and password properly. Then only I am identified and what are the operations I can do that. So that is it. Then another one is about availability. What is availability? So requires that the computer system access to be available to the authorized parties when needed. So whenever the person is using his own credentials to log in, that time the computer system assets are that the available data should be provided whenever they need. So for example, if I'm in my class time, I'm going to be logged. So if that time it should be provided all the information how to all those things. These access controls is provided. So the authorized user is entering. Definitely, we need to provide all the needs are. So that is. Then another topic about the security mechanism. One of the most specified security mechanism is the cryptographic technique. You know what is the cryptographic technique? What is a cryptographic? Cryptographic. So two words. So the meaning of encryption. So that is capital A or small e, whatever. Like the transmission of information are the most common means of providing security. So transmission of information that are most common means of providing security. Some of these mechanisms are, so what are the mechanisms here we are going to be control all those things. Encipherment. Encipherment, so that is encipherment. Then another one is about digital signature and the third one is about access control. Encipherment, digital signature and access control. What is the meaning of this encipherment? What is encipherment means? It is refers to the process of applying mathematical algorithm for converting data into a form that is not intelligible This depends on algorithm used and encryption keys. Yes or no? That encryption decryption process, no? That is the ciphertext, plain text. Plain text is going to be converted into a ciphertext. So that is the process of applying a mathematical operation. So that's only where we are going to be what is it? Substitutions techniques we are going to be use. Substitution techniques. Have you heard that word of substitution techniques? What is the meaning of substitution techniques? So the process of applying, that is mathematical operation, substitution technique we are going to be, so changing a letter places, or we are going to be calculate what are the operations we are going to be do for encryption, various types of. So changing a position or substituting and replacing one with another one, how. This needs an algorithm of encryption keys. So either maybe you are going to be use a shared key or the same key we are going to be use all those things. Then the digital signature. This is depends upon uh, cryptographic transformation. So applied to any data until allowing to prove the source and integrity of data unit and protect against for forgery. So we are going to be providing. So generally, if for example, if I do sign work, so if how can I do a digital signature means? So let's provides I am the right person, I am the right authorized person who is going to be sending the data. So such that I am going to be do. So physically, how we are going to be do the sign on the paper. The same way we are going to be do the sign on the um, digitally in the document. So why means all those we are going to be sending all the data in a digitally formatted. So digitally we are going to be send all those data digitally. Definitely in the manner we need to provide mm, proper authentication to the data. So such that digital signature is going to be used for this. So in order to avoid the forgery, against forgery. Then another one is about access control. The varying of technique, varying of mechanism used to ensure that the integrity of data units are the same stream of data units. So authentication exchanges, the data integrity means we are going to provide a variety of mechanisms. So that is, we know what is integrity. There we are going to be use the hash keys, message registers, all those things. So that is the meaning of integrity. So authentication exchange, a mechanism intended to ensure the identity of an entity by means of information exchange. By the means of a mechanism intended to ensure that identity of any by means of information exchange. Okay. Then the traffic padding. What is the meaning of traffic padding? Once again. Okay, that is data integrity. The variety of mechanisms are used to ensure that the integrity of data units are in the stream of data units. So a mechanism intended to ensure that identity of an unit entity by the meaning of message exchange. The insertion of bit into a gaps in the data stream for frustrated traffic analysis attempts. So unwantedly that people are entering in that. So how to control, how to make the proper transmissions. So when the traffic is going to be occur generally in real life, the traffic is going to be occur. So when and how it is going to be occur. So maybe some the persons are going to do it differently, and they are doing knowingly or unknowingly they are going to be entering the wrong ways or one ways or other. So something is going to be followed differently. So the same way the third party person is going to be enter into the network the same manner only. So that is okay. Then another one is about routing control. What is a routing control? So enables the selection of a particular physical secure uh, routes. So what is the simple meaning of a router? What it contains in a router? For a certain data allows routing exchanges one branch of security is suspected. So it contains which port to which port the data is going to be transferred. So how the data is going to be transferred from one port to. So generally, if one-to-one data is going to be transferred, so that time how the data is going to be transferring in proper manner. So by identifying the IP address of one system to another system, how it will be like this. That is routing control enables a particular physical secure routes for a certain data. Okay, that's then notarization. So generally we can call one second, so much of network issues are there. Okay. Then another one is about notarizations. What is generally if we go to advocate and we'll ask for notary. So what is the meaning called notary? Some other person, some other third party person we are going to be believe and we are going to be access to as a, so that is a, we are trusted the third party to ensure the certain properties of data exchange. We are taking a third party person, so we believe in between both. So we can simply call a broker. So in between, we believe the broker and the broker can show something. Same way here also, we believe some third party, trusted third party to ensure a certain properties of data exchange. Then the general terms, what is that? An original message is known as a plain text. As we know generally, that is the plain text, general messages. While the coded message is called the ciphertext. So once we converted, so there is maybe we perform on something operations, maybe substitution techniques we applied on that, and we change the plain text into a different format that we can simply call the ciphertext is an unreadable format. Yes, sir. Unreadable format. We are going to be converted to unreadable format. The process of converting from plain text to ciphertext is known as enciphering or encryption. Enciphering, that is encryption, that is in simple meaning. Enciphering or encryption. Resorting, restoring the plain text from the ciphertext, restoring from plain text from the ciphertext is deciphering, or we can call decryption. So that is the general terms encryption. The May the May schemas are used to encryption constitute the area of study of cryptography. So in cryptography, what we are going to be making means we are transferring, we are converting some plain text to ciphertext to plain text. Why we are transferring means in order to make a secure transmission, we are going to be we are transferring the data in normal form to some other different format. So that is such schema is known as a cryptographic system or cipher. The technique used to deciphering a message without any knowledge of enciphering, so that is encryption details, falls into the area of cryptanalysis. Cryptanalysis. So the technique used for deciphering a message without any knowledge of enciphering. So that is also what is this means? Simply we can have, for example, we are doing asymmetric and symmetric. Have you idea about asymmetric and symmetric? Two of them you have no idea about. So one thing we are going to be do the same key we are going to be do for encryption and decryption. In another one we are going to be do for different keys. One is a public and private key. So that is we are doing a technique for use for deciphering message without any knowledge of enciphering details. We don't have any details of how they done the encipher, that is encryption, how they done. We don't have any analysis. So such type of areas is known as a cryptanalysis. How we are going to be analysis that one. How we are going to be break the ciphertext into a plain text. That is. Cryptanalysis is what a lay person calls breaking the code. The areas of cryptography and cryptanalysis together is called cryptology. Cryptography and cryptanalysis together is going to be called as cryptology. So this is a 2 marks questions. Please be note and remember how we are going to do all those things. Please be remember. Then symmetric cipher model. What is the meaning called symmetric cipher? So we know the meaning of symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric encryption is the form of crypto system in which the encryption and decryption are performed using the same key. Encryption and decryption is going to be performed the same key. It is also known as a conventional encryption. Another name for this known as a conventional encryption. The symmetric encryption is also referred. Symmetric encryption is also referred as a conventional encryption or single key encryption, or we can call single key encryption. Single key encryption. A symmetric encryption schema has 5 ingredients. So while we are performing this operation, we have 5 ingredients. What are the things? So as usual, you know that the plain text, ciphertext, encryption, decryption. That is the things again. So plain text, the original intelligible message, intelligible message are the data that is fed into the algorithm as input. So which data we are going to be trying to transfer, which is the original data. That data is known as a plain text. Then another one is about a encryption algorithm. The encryption algorithm is performs various substitutions and transpositions. So I forget the word transpositions. So that is a substitution techniques. Substitution techniques I am going to do. So that is substitution techniques and transposition techniques. That is on the plain text. So we may perform any substitution techniques and transposition techniques on the plain text. For that, we are going to be, so in order to convert the plain text into ciphertext, we are going to be using encryption. Then another one is about secret key. The key is also as an input of the encryption algorithm. The key is the value independent on the plain text of algorithm. The algorithm will produce a different output depending on the same key being used at the time. The exact substitution and transmission performed by the algorithm depend upon the key. So because we are here, we are going to be using the same key that's showing, the key dependency will be very high here. So same key we need to, that is we can call as a shared key. The same key we are going to be used in both encryption and decryption. So both senders and receivers. So that's why we can call the same key, or we can call a shared key also. So ciphertext. This is the screenable message is produced as an output. It is depend upon a plain text and the secret key. For given a message, two different keys will produce the two different ciphertexts. So, for example, we are using keys now. Once that is, if key changes, automatically ciphertext is also changes. Is that any one only? For example, you can take only one particular operation is there for encryption algorithms. It is not like that. Once we have a lot of substitution techniques and transposition techniques are there to perform these operations. That's why whenever we are going to be change a key, so automatically the ciphertext is also going to be changed. Then another one is about decryption algorithm. What is the meaning of decryption algorithm? This is an essential algorithm that is run inverse. It takes the ciphertext and the secret key and produce the original plain text. So in order to get an original plain text, we are going to be. There are two requirements for the secure use of conventional encryption. We need a strong encryption algorithm. At minimum, it would be like the algorithm be to be such that an opponent who's known the algorithm and has access one or more ciphertext would be able to decipher the ciphertext, figure out as a. So by using key, so how many keys are there? How many ways? Maybe we can do. For example, I think if you remember, we can do ciphertext again. We can do the encryption for the ciphertext. So in order to make a strong, that is a, we can simply we can make more secure the data. We can do the double encryption and double decryption also. So the reverse process how we can make that is maybe how in process we are going to be apply the same reverse process we are going to. The sender receives must be obtained the copies of the secret key in a secure fashion that may be keep secure well. So how we are going to. So this is a simple diagram for so the conventional or symmetric encryption. So please remember that synonyms of everything. Different words because may in exam they ask you different words. Sir, they don't know. Sorry, and tell don't say like this. So symmetric encryption is also known as what is another one? Conventional encryption. Okay. So look at the closer look at the essential of elements of a symmetric algorithm. A scheme using the below diagram. A source produces the message in a plain text. So you can see that above them, we can see the so plain text. So by using something, we are going to block with the K. So the X is a message that is. So we are performing the encryption algorithm, and we are going to be block it. Then we are going to be transferred the ciphertext that is unreadable format we are going to. So why we are making this one? As of active attacks and passive attacks are there. Yes or no? So even if they don't find out the patterns of that given message, for that only we are going to be change this one. This is the main intention. Even if the person is known that one, the message they cannot read that message. Like that way, we are transferring the data in a secure manner. So which case, if for example, the ciphertext known by the unauthorized person, so he must know the key, then only he can do the proper original message he can get it. Because we already discussed that one previously. If we are changing the key, automatically the ciphertext is going to be changed, and the ciphertext is changed, automatically the original message is also going to be changed. So that's why only. So even if they cannot read the messages, so even if read also, it is also one of the attack. That is one of the passive attack. So that's why even if the third person not even read the messages, that's why we are going to be transfer the ciphertext, and along with the some key we are going to be transfer, and we are doing that is the decryption, and we are again sending the plain text as a output. Okay. So let us see the below figure A. I think this one is, so this one figure A. The source produces the message as a plain text. The elements are letters in the finite alphabets. The traditional in alphabets usually constituted of the 26 capital letters. Nowadays, the binary alphabets means 0 and 1. They typically are used. The encrypt for encryption, a key of the form is generated. If the key is generated in the message source, it must be provided to a destination by means of some secure channel. So alternatively, the third party could generate the key and securely deliver it to both the source and destination. So here we see that the source message and the encryption algorithm, key source, we are going to be get the key. Again here, may you heard the DES algorithm, AES algorithm and Blowfish. We have various types of algorithms are there. There we have size of key is very different. So 64-bit key you are using in DES we are going to be using 64-bit key. So based upon the key size, again, when the key size is increases, then the more security we can provide to the data. So that is another one. So we are going to be cryptanalysis and we are going to be perform some operation and decryption. So we are going to be transfer that data in a secure channel. The key is going to be transferred in a secure channel. Because if this key is major one, because if this key knows, they can try with the ciphertext, then he can easily get the information. So that's when they can sending this as a, so then we are going to provide the decryption, then description. So with the message and encryption keys as input, the encryption algorithm forms the ciphertext. We can write this notation indicates this produced by the encryption using encryption algorithm E as a function of plain text with a specific function determined by the value of the key. The intended receiver, the positions of the key is able to convert it the transformation of that is x equal to decryption of k comma y, so that the ciphertext is going to be converted, the x is going to be get. So we are going to be get the x as a final. So how we are going to be get? So key with ciphertext we can do this. Okay. Then cryptographic systems are characterized along three independent dimensions. The types of operations used for transmission of plain text to ciphertext. All encryption algorithms are based on two general principles: substitutions, which the elements in a plain text with letter group of the elements are mapped into another element, and the transposition in which the elements in a plain text are rearranged. Yes or no? That is a substitution transposition techniques. What we are going to be doing, arranging in a different manner. So the fundamental requirements on that the information be lost. That is, all the operations are reversible processes. So definitely, yes, if you do any such type of substitution or transposition, changing arrangements, definitely we need to make a rearrangeable. Then only the decryption process is going to be done. So that is, if we are not performing properly in the decryption, then maybe data loss is going to be done. So then the number of keys are used. I already told now. So in order to make more secure, we can do the encryption too. So encryption, we can plain text to ciphertext. Again, the ciphertext to ciphertext, we can do double encryption also. We can. So if the both senders are receiving the same key, the system is referred symmetric. The single secret key or conventional encryption. The sender receives the different uses a different keys. The system is referred as asymmetric. So that is here the once the keys are going to be changed, then it is going to be called as asymmetric. That the two keys are a public key and private key. Two keys are public key encryption we can call, that is the two keys. The way which the plain text is proposed processed. A block of cipher process in the input one block of elements at a time and producing an output block for each input block. A stream cipher process, the input elements are continuously producing an output on one element at a time, which and it's how it is going to be processed. The block of ciphertext is going to be properly doing and which. So by next class we will see the substitution techniques. So please be remember that